Hi, you're watching St. Louis Park Today. I'm your host, Seth Rowe, Community Editor of the St. Louis Park Sun-Sailor. Well, I've got a bunch of things to talk about today, and I'm just kind of ad-lib a little bit today. I'd like to thank my viewers for watching. By the way, I'm hearing comments about wondering whether I'll wear a hat and what it'll look like, so that's kind of a curious thing I didn't even think too much about. This is my little Hurley hat, not that I've been paid for any advertisements, but little hat I got in Mexico I kind of like, so I wear it, and I had my little my kind of British tweed hat yesterday. You know, it's that kind of springtime of year when you like to have something covering your head just a tad still. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's coming out in our paper this week. Thursday is the date that our paper comes out, April 23rd. Although we have these wonderful webcasts, we still have a great printed product. And the big story, the front page story I have, it was relating to a Holocaust survivor, Mr. Joseph Rosenberg of St. Louis Park, who I interviewed last week. And I mentioned this a little bit in an earlier webcast, but he is quite a, let me get center there, he has quite a sad story. I mean, very fortunate that he survived himself, but talked about his being pulled apart from his family members at Auschwitz, and then, you know, he survived, but he had a number of family members who unfortunately did end up in the gas chambers, and he was sent to a work camp. Basically, it just was abandoned since he couldn't walk when the American GIs came and the Nazi soldiers took off. But it's quite a sad but obviously important story, and that kind of dominates our front page. He's got a little photo here taken from the camp, and then that's a photo I took of him. So that's kind of a big thing. And speaking of the Holocaust, today is Holocaust Remembrance Day, and here's an item I should read in case you're watching this in time. There's the 2009 Twin Cities Yom HaShoah Holocaust Remembrance Day Commemoration will be held at 7 p.m. tonight at Beth El Synagogue, 5224 West 26th Street in St. Louis Park, right off Highway 100. Commemoration will reflect the theme Return to Life. Attendees of the commemoration will honor survivors and hear experiences of liberation, life in displaced persons camps, immigration, starting over, and giving birth to a new generation. The annual Holocaust Commemoration remembers the 6 million Jews killed in the Holocaust. As is tradition at Yom HaShoah, Holocaust survivors are invited to light candles in memory of the victims of the Holocaust. Members of the Children of Holocaust Survivors Association of Minnesota will assist in the lighting of candles. For the past 29 years, the Jewish Community Relations Council of Minnesota and the Dakotas has organized and hosted the Twin Cities Yom HaShoah commemoration with some other groups, by the way, as well. Well, that's kind of the big story, and I'm gonna try to head down there myself tonight and capture that a little bit, and perhaps write a story, maybe get some video. Even though we have this story coming out in this week's paper, obviously, like my editor said, it's an historical event that you can't cover enough. It's very important. Well, some of the other topics of interest in our paper coming out this Thursday you might be interested in are the Save Us Jewish Community Center celebrating 50 years. I've got a little story about how they have kind of changed a little bit over the years, but are still as originally intended, you know, a place, a gathering place for the Jewish community and Gentiles as well in these days. And they're, you know, I talked to the executive, the CEO rather, Stuart Wax, about that, and So that's kind of interesting. Something a little different on page 3. I've got a item about the facility study at the St. Louis Park School District, which found that they did have a lot more space than really needed. So the next step, the next part of the study, will be determining what to do about that, if anything. That'll be something that I'm sure will be closely watched by both taxpayers, parents, and other people in the community. So those are some of the things, the pages I pulled out from our issue this week to kind of highlight, and these are just, of course, my little proofing pages, but something to be aware of, I guess. City Council, by the way, met last night. The main thing was talking about the Municipal Service Center, which I mentioned in yesterday's webcast. They did approve that project, which City Manager Tom Harmoning put at about $7 million, including the architectural work, the construction management, and so forth and so on. Although you did note it could come in a bit less when they received bids. I know the school district, I didn't get a chance to write about this, but they recently took some bids for some of their projects, their capital improvement projects, and they were way underbid, way under what they expected to pay when the bids came in. So obviously there's a lot of competition, I guess you could say, amongst construction companies for projects now, with the economic situation and so forth. And as someone noticed, the gas prices are a little lower, and that helps a little bit too. So, so those are some of the things going on. Like I say, that Municipal Service Center is going to go out for bid, and we're expected to be in this year. They're significantly increasing the size of the place, and it'll have the salt storage center. That was kind of a topic of debate, because what they were talking about wouldn't have met the zoning. Now they're talking about just moving that existing building basically over a little bit and reuse, reduce, recycle, so to speak, and that would keep the cost down, and they would be within the realms of the zoning regulations as well that they have. They're talking about how the Municipal Service Center, when it's expanded, could cut down on some work by not requiring them to move a bunch of vehicles to get one out, by cutting down on the time it takes to wash vehicles with automatic system and so forth. So, and of course they stress that this all has to take place so that the work on the fire stations can go forward as their public works employees at Fire Station 1 right now, and that would also be a temporary fire station location in the future. Okay, so like I say, I'm cramming a lot in there. It's not even everything I've been working on here this week. So lots of things going on in St. Louis Park, and amongst them is the weather. Weather's always going on in Minnesota. It's always changing, and today we've got a high of about 56, 57 in there. Partly cloudy skies, a low of 38, so staying above freezing. That's good. Hate to see those little green shoots that are emerging stop emerging. And tomorrow we've got a high of 63 degrees and a low of very reasonable 47 degrees. And they're talking 79 for Thursday. Put that on your calendar. That is excellent. 79 for a high. Get out the bike, your books, your barbecue grill, whatever. I mean, if that holds up, that'll be terrific. Well, that's it for St. Louis Park today. I'll probably talk your ear off. Thanks again for watching. I'm Seth Rowe.